it was Liquid to take the win on the opening map of Overpass. And Elise, you can see on your screens right now, he is finally alive and kicking. MIBR did put up a fight though, and they started off very strong in the first half. Towards the end, we saw Liquid bounce back, and from then they could not be stopped. A few rounds went in the way of MIBR, but it wasn't meant to be. It simply wasn't enough. And we'll be moving on to the second map very shortly. But guys, we got to start with, that was so much better and more what we expect from Liquid. And it had to be at least at the top of the scoreboards this time around.
Yeah, no, pretty much. I guess this was more of a classic Liquid look, right? You had good performances from, well, all the three usual suspects in Naf, Twist, and Elige. I think they performed really, really well, although some of them were slower starters than others. To start off the game was pretty much just Elige trying to right the ship. But, you know, as long as the end is good, you know, all is good. That's pretty much how Liquid has to look at it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Now, Potter, you've got something prepared for us this time, so go and do your Weather Woman thing for me, please.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring up one of these B hits that we saw from Liquid time and time again on this Overpass match. And man, this isn't just a normal, ordinary B rush, but the simplicity is what I so appreciate about this. You're going to see Stewie, he's leading the rush as he normally does. And I'm going to pause it right about here. Now, I want you to keep in mind these line of sights for all the defenders, generally speaking, on Overpass. We've got TRK at Cat here, Taco here, and Kanji here. Now, let's even throw in a Heaven player and potentially a ramp player. This is the danger zone. And as attackers, you have to decide as a unit what your priorities are going to be as far as where you want to take those contacts and where you want to take those duels. And absolutely, Liquid, they've got this practiced out. If you take a look at Stewie here, he's going to be coming up this ramp. He understands that Elige and Twist are going to be throwing flashbangs out his way here as he gets that contact. And that's going to take care of KNG here. His main focus and worry is going to be towards the toxic barrel here where Taco's positioning is going to be. Now, Stewie swiftly takes out Taco here, and he quickly turns his attention to Kanji, who is blind. But that slight pause here at this wall allows him to get these frags. And if we go over to Stewie's point of view here, we're going to see exactly how this round plays out, exactly how these frags look so easy for him. But it's really because it's thought out, it's practiced. He's run through the reps. He knows exactly where he wants these duels to come, and he knows exactly how to utilize his line of sight to his advantage. And so it's such a nice, simple B take. It's really good to see Liquid so practiced in it as well.
And they were talking about it, right? They were talking about that preparation then.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why you do dry runs. That's why you do all the boring stuff on a server by yourself before you head into practice games and so on. Because you can tell the absolute confidence Stewie has in the flashbangs and the utility used by his teammates, to the point where he's straight up ignoring the entire bridge graffiti area because he knows that's going to be flashed. I don't have to worry about that at all. Full focus on getting the first frag onto Taco, and the fact that he gets, you know, a pretty sick transfer over towards Kanji is, you know, the cherry on the top. But that's what, you know, good team play allows you to do. And Team Liquid pretty much just abused MIBR on that B side time and time again on that T side.
They really did, and I can only imagine we're going to see more of the same if Liquid can do this going into Inferno, but that's what's going to be coming next. It's time for us to take a break once again, and when you come back, we could be looking at a quick 2-0 unless MIBR have something to bounce back with. We'll see you in a few.
Buckle in, folks. We've got the second map of Team Liquid versus MIBR real close. And, well, we're shifting over onto Inferno. And if there's been any
smoothest pass, Cotter,
around Team Liquid, then I don't think it has centered itself around Inferno. Inferno has been a consistency. I mean, they dismantled, they smothered Chaos on Inferno in their opening matchup. And I have a feeling that the success of Team Liquid in that second half from Overpass could very well transition here into the second map. What do you think?
Yeah, I would like to believe that. I think because it is Inferno, you know, I entertain it. I think looking at just their series maps aside, they've always struggled to close out the series, which seems to be a psychological issue more than a map one. But at least they've got Inferno look on. It's a map they're definitely very good at. I think they do have some holes in their game when they played on Chaos. When they played versus Chaos, I feel like they gave up B a little bit too easily. I know that MIBR do that as well on their CT side. I personally think It's a flaw in some of the top teams at play. So they rely too heavily on the B holds, and the B takes have gotten so good that that can lead to inconsistent T halves. And there's only a couple of teams that really give credence to making sure they keep an N in check when they need to. Mostly Astralis. EG actually quite good at that. But, well, yeah, I guess because they're both even strength in that regard, and Liquid closed out that map, the first half of that map strong, maybe they can actually pull this off. Another nice start here for Taco. Good trades from both sides, 3v3 as they push onto the site, and there's 2 behind a Moto Smoke.
Not going to be easy. 3 versus 2 now, turn still for Liquid. Got that bomb in the back of the site, but KNG tries to slip through this. Nitro, he's going to be isolated on the bomb site itself, but he ducks back into the cover, has a chance, and has teammates to try and help him here. But KNG, a nuisance in this moment. Everybody's still somehow alive. First starts knocking him down. Look at that. Crisp aim to the back of pit. Now he gets onto the bomb. He does not have the kit, and yet still he sticks this halfway before coming off. Stewie dances around him, and then Electric slides back into the cover, the safety of short. Back into the apartments he's gonna go. Fur, he knows he has no chance. Stewie, you dog, goes ahead and wins this pistol for Liquid.
It was a pretty round by Fur. Well played by Stewie. Perfect bait there, obviously. Even took a small risk because Fur played it perfectly and walked the whole way. So made sure, or just took a gamble kind of and just ran up, just really put a lot of pressure to see if Fur was going to peek him. But, you know, the odds that that person has a kit are obviously quite low. You might even know who has the kit in that situation, considering they play on against MIBR a lot. But Liquid up to the 1-0, and we had that wonderful stats helix breakdown of the demo of the rush on overpass to the B site by Team Liquid, by Potter in that analysis segment. And I think the most important part and thing we could draw from that, holy smokes, Fallen, lightning fast shot down mid with the scout. But the most important thing about that was that if Liquid stick to timing, it's going to be very hard for MIBR to keep up. Like they're on that pistol round, they actually get into the site and allow their Moto Smoke to be useful. If they wasted any more time whatsoever, MIBR would have pushed through, gotten to pick control, or had 2 CTs come through the smoke and nullify that. And so I think Liquid need to stay locked in when it comes to their spacing and timing, follow up on their strats, make these trades really hard to get for MIBR.
Always easier said than done.
True.
But
very true.
A solid start for Team Liquid. They hold. Not going to look to force the issue here. I mean, there was a moment just a couple seconds ago where Fallen spams half the clip of the Scout SSG-08. Does anybody actually ever call it that?
Who's got that kind of time?
Yeah. Not Team Liquid. Hell, they're making quick time as they charge straight into this A site, going straight in and costing themselves a couple of their lives. Now, Nitro does get the one up close, but he's outnumbered and he's lost that bomb. 30 seconds. Check out the map. Look how many deaths are stacked on top of this site and another added to the tally. Nitro clothesline by Fur, one of 2 guns that MIBR had to work with, but the FAMAS stays in play until it's needed. And oh, did they need that. MIBR bouncing back straight after Liquid win their pistol.
Wow, some pretty furious trades there on the A site. I love how Nitro on the 1v2 juggernauts it in a pit, knowing he can close off a position, forcing either somebody to jump up into the half wall in the smoke or peek him, taking the duel. But Fur, as we're talking about with this tight spacing, MIBR wastes no time whatsoever. Liquid tried to stay on par with that, but Fur comes through that smoke just as he is looking to the side and trades out the 1v1. There's always the argument to go slower, but slower doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the pistol or the anti-eco rounds. Sometimes rushes are a good idea. That obviously didn't work out like they anticipated. But it doesn't mean it was necessarily a bad play. They have spent all their money and are using a lot of grenades, actually, which is kind of cool from Team Liquid. Going to try to pull off a full strat here.
I like that Taco takes a little bit of an ambition here. Yeah, odd. You know, he takes that risk of kind of peering down middle. Could have eaten a deeg to the face. But correct, he saw nothing. Curious how far Fallen wants to go. You can see him flirting with the idea of also maybe going for a little bit of info down B, but KNG and Fur Locking down the brackets, making it look easy as well. 0 casualties versus MIBR, and Elige also cut down. So perfect conversion after robbing after the pistol.
That was really great protocols by MIBR. They keep the 3 stacked up at mid in case the crossfire gets dismantled or compromised from any one position. There's 2 on the side that doesn't get smoked, and there's a player on the site to make sure no one can come out of halls, so the 2 guys in lane have some extra fortification. So they were covered on all fronts, and they also had someone push down B. So there's really no play for Liquid there, except for winning miraculous trades at the top of mid.
Glocks, lots of them. And nothing else. Well, maybe a little ferociousness, but that's about all they have in this formula. Getting up into the apartments pretty quickly, trying to hope that some of these CTs overstep the boundaries.
They need some of that furiosity.
Yeah, it would help. Although last time it was a bit too much to handle for both of these teams, of course. Furia sitting 2-0 in the group. Their last match versus Chaos. Careful, Fallen. There's a lot of bodies down there. Softening them up, of course. Come on, Liquid. Get to the point. Here it comes. They charge straight into the arch side, and they get exactly what you'd expect. Just mowed down. Naf, 7 health. He wants something, but he'll find nothing. MIBR, 3 rounds to 1, straight at the start of this Inferno map.
Hey, man. I mean, the fact that they're trying so hard on these Glock rounds, really, I mean, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? They lost that initial pistol. They closed out the first map, but for them to try so hard when they have absolutely no utility, that kind of feels like a Liquid that we haven't seen recently.
Fair enough. Trying to milk it for what they can. No op to counter that of KNG, who immediately posts up here in mid. And Nitro, he's going to have to be careful. He's being pressured by all this utility, and if he backs up too far, he's going to get slammed down ramp. Elige toying with the idea of rounding mid, but instead he'll go through apps.
Respecting the B presence as they delay the top mid. They don't want to take eyes off this unless they want to spring it really quickly. It's going to be the Virtus Pro setup on lane. Player on this awning is going to peer over any smokes that land on lane, and the 2 below to hold on to lane themselves.
So far, so good. Taco tries to swoop down with his MP9 to add another, but hey, KNG, he knows he can't take any more risks because his other teammates did, and they died. So he calls for the rotate, which comes in the form of Fallen. Close smoke, denies Nitro any sort of a push, and good job by Nafly to line that up. Now he is in a bit of a pinch. Could easily fall back to the B bomb site, has that time, but doesn't know if everyone rotated through the spawn. Look at him go. MIBR, they're trying to follow suit, playing shoulder to shoulder, but Naf circumvents the threat by heading out through apartments. And even now, MIBR, they have to second guess this. There's a chance he went B, but he hasn't. And if he clears short, oh, that could have been his key into it. I love that MIBR just try and track him down.
Staying together in that buddy system, going to play the retake. 2v1, disallowing the bomb plan if it is going to be on aim, ensuring the trade, and then also getting info early so they can rotate out early if Naflight does a little bit too much walking. So yeah, I can see that being kind of one of the smartest ways to approach that 2v1. And for Liquid, I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't give some love to be there, because this is a few rounds in a row, and this past round was one where they had a lot of grenades, where they didn't try to reclaim Banana and instead force their way into top mid, where MIBR are the most prepared.
Bird in front of the utility, lines him up, knocks him down, tries to fade away to the safety of Banana, but Fallen cannot keep his friend alive. He'll be on the sidelines until the 7th round, but hey, a 5-1 start for MIBR by the looks of things. Great to see them establish the CT side early, because we saw them struggle on overpass once they swapped to the defense. Early days here in map 2. Deagle of Nafly going to come up empty-handed, and Twist also empty-handed. 0 kills so far at the start of this second map. But he does sort of get within the defense. Grenade dunks on him. Poor guy loses nearly half his health. He doubles back to the bomb site, and that's where KNG catches him with his back turn. So sure enough, that 5-1 we expected is exactly what we get.
Since B only has one choke point, I mean, there's no really pulling the wool over the B player's eyes unless you're going to crack open Archway to try to split and do a late banana take. But since they're not imploring then MIBR overstacking at mid, it feels like Liquid are just playing their game. And I think if they want to leave that smoke down B, one thing that Liquid can do, if they don't think MIBR are going to play 2 at the bottom of banana, is try to flash through that smoke and jump through with 2 players, trade out the guy at bottom banana, then go from there in a 4v4 or even a 5v4 if they're lucky enough with appropriate flash. But I feel like they have to at least clear it out. So here, at least they do that. MIBR have decided to go full passive, knowing that at some point they're going to catch on. But we can start to have a real round now from this point.
Ooh, just backing up far enough to dodge the nade. We had this quick conversation at the start of it about teams holding on the B bomb site as opposed to really forcing the issue on the banana control. And this could be argued as one of those rounds, but
look at this,
it's
man.
stacked.
They're full passive on A, and they have 3 players in B.
Look at all the grenades that start flying over. It's going to be awkward, but Fur gets his gun up for 3. All headshots as they try rounding that corner. I mean, my God. Team Liquid throwing everything and the kitchen sink at that B bomb site, and nothing sticks except for Fur. Sticks the landing on that 3-piece, and it almost looked like he was going to get caught fumbling with his guns. Thank goodness he looked away from the flash and just whips back in time.
This is the worst part of it all. They get killed by the A rotator. There's still 2 guys they know left in the site. They killed by the A rotator who gambled over towards B, because the one time that Team Liquid take banana, they also hit the site. MIBR are like, could you do anything more obvious? Fun fact, Lounge Nation, the last and only time TRK played against Liquid, he played against JDM 64. Whoa.
That was a while ago.
Wait, that was MLG Columbus era.
Era.
When
Rest in peace.
Maybe
JDM.
that would have been in the circuit to MLG Columbus. Can't remember that far back. I told myself when I started watching CSGO, in 2012, 2013, that I was
never going to forget
every single tournament bracket, every single result that happened, all the roster moves, no problem. I can't even remember what the hell I ate for breakfast.
Well, old age will
What
do
was I
that to you. That's why I'm going to be young forever.
At 80.
12,
That's why
by
I'm
the
going to
way.
be young forever.
Very little to work with, Liquid. A MAC-10. How exciting. Some grenades around it, but very patient setup here from Liquid, just hoping that someone from MIBR move forward. But hell, if it's in the middle of the gun rounds that they decide to play 2 passive A and a solid B stack, then I don't see any of these defensive players making a move right now. So Liquid decide to show their hand. They're going to go ahead and run into the A bomb site, yet again trying to use the MAC-10 to clear the closest of corners. They get the plant that they'd hoped for, but what more can they make of this? Because there's 2 anchors, not 1, but 2 anchors locking down this pit position, although low HP for Taco. And they are very much trying to get him out of here, which they have. Naf takes control of the situation, and Twists takes control of that fallen M4. A second Colt picked up for Liquid, as they actually have a man advantage in this post plant. So Fur leading the charge with 13 kills, 2 deaths, is blinded as he arrives, and that's solid stuff from Liquid. Just sprinting in through the open route, planting bomb frantically, dealing with Pit in the post plant, and hanging on to get their second round.
This is almost exactly the same thing that happened on Overpass. They were losing drastically, calling wasn't great, and then they won an eco round. What's that?
Can we? Oh man, I don't know if we have time, but that was Naf just shooting 1 bullet through the smoke of Pit to kill Taco. I thought the player who jumped into the same smoke just got him up close, but no, it's like they had a problem to deal with, and Naf flicks at it like, somebody just get this guy out of here. Nonchalantly blows him away. And even more awkwardly, it looked like the CT who was behind that half wall killed a player who was tip to tip in small pit. I don't know what's going on. But this round, more importantly, is already starting to unfold over to this A site, and Taco just got robbed on a timing. He looks away from the Balk room and gets blindsided. So Liquid, out of nowhere, have gone ahead and gotten half the round count of MIBR because Fallen and Fur should most certainly save.
Yeah, they turned up they turned on the burners to full strength. They have flipped on the nitrous oxide and are stepping on the gas pedal. After that eco round rushing towards A, they do the exact same thing. MIBR try to innovate, come up with a new strat to hold towards A. So they have the idea that it might be something involving halls, but 2 players get defeated without even getting a trade. So with that in mind, there's pretty much no chance to hold onto the site. 1 player pushes into mid, it looks like, ends up getting killed, and Liquid are on to 3. And yeah, just like on Overpass, they start to look better and better after winning the eco round. Put together the 2 in a row and are on pace to make it 3. Fallen and Fur, it looks like they can drop 2 more guns if they'd like to and have a decent buy in a whoa. That is a pre-fire.
Blows Twist's head off, but
that
it all worked.
That was an amazing pre-fire. If he even missed 1 bullet, he gets opt.
Yep. Sometimes it happens. Versus a liege, happens more often.
Yeah.
Don't know this scream. Fur has 13 kills with 11 headshots.
Kenny S?
Who's this?
Do you know that meme? There's a kid who is playing with Scream in a matchmate game, and then he goes AFK. And then okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, go find that clip if you haven't seen it. It's very funny. Kid Scream stream. Those are the keywords for YouTube. Okay. Lots of nades back and forth on Banana. Once again, Team Liquid looking to take Banana, denying MIBR from having control of it. They're forward aggressive on mid. No one's actually peeking down. This is a much better look for Liquid. Maybe a bit more concerning for MIBR. They can't read it's going to be a B play straight up. So potentially going to hold fast on the rotates for now. And the flashes have been good. Maybe a little too good.
Yeah. Oh, God. Nitro. Oh, and his teammate had just left him, so Stewie tries to clamber back into it, but he's low HP. He jumps back, and Fallen, you madman. How has he managed to hang on to this? Good on him for doing it, because there is a world not far from ours where that flashbang completely whites him.
Yeah, if Stewie dodged it properly, he was completely white and dead. He would have the blood slap from his body. He would have been bled out there.
You know, you did just tell everybody to Google Kid Scream Stream.
Oh my God,
which
that actually sounds
like hell. Yeah.
Holy smokes. Maybe throw CSGO in there. Throw CSGO in there, actually. That's a very important keyword.
Just toddlers screeching for hours on end.
Wow, context is everything. It really is.
Here's Twist at the B site, trying to pick up the pieces that were fumbled earlier on, and that smoke towards CT could be what they need to at least get the bomb plant. A post-plant situation for Liquid could help them, but I think Fallen has other ideas. He charges straight through the smoke, gets the 1, stopping bomb, but there is still time on the clock for that to be recuperated and put down. Twist has to give cover. He loses the planter, but at least it's in. He's trying to lock it off in the 1v4. Shaves off 1 player, gets confirmation, and kills the man in CT. Now, he knows that the one's on construction short, so he also just get the banana man, and you're going to be good to go. Twist, though, cut down after just the 2. An excellent effort and a good recovery, considering that was a 3v5. They still managed their plant with some frags, but it's MIBR to take 7.
Man, scary how he's icing off those angles. Twist here on rollerblades, trying to hold down that clutch. Making it a 1v1, I think, would have brought that round suddenly into his favor. So, damn. Nice stoppage from Fur. Amazing round from Fallen. Although he should have died, he was still in a very precarious spot despite the team flash coming out and still managed to get those 2 kills and stay alive. And Fur was standing back there the whole time, and he was like, I'll help you if you really need it. And it turns out Fallen didn't really need it, so he didn't help him. But they hold on to B control. That was a critical round here for Liquid to just really look like they're going to plow through this comeback, because they would have run an eco round, they would have run a fast round on B, 1 with halls, and 1 on B as well.
up close on that smoke. Twist, he lays down some lead and anticipates the frag. Gets away from it. So no stress. Nice wall bang from KNG. Nitro has to appreciate the fact he's still alive. Minute on the clock, and that bomb falls back. At least they did establish the top of banana control. Fallen doesn't come swinging wide with a 2K here in the 11th.
There is now a player cheating over towards B. Bomb is also up towards B, so the re is good once again for MIBR. They're not seeing any mid control, and someone's peeking down. They might even cheat a fourth player over.
Follow-up smoke to delay. This is going to allow for Taco to take the top rope. Now we get Team Liquid coming in on their execute, or at least throwing their smokes in. They're going to try and charge right through this smoke with the flashes timed well. KNG regaining vision and finding himself the kill. So it's quickly taken back by Naffer inside of the smoke, playing around the bomb site, has cover, comes back in for second servings, and Alige now answers back with a couple headshots of his own. 2v2, bomb picked back up, and it comes into the 10-second mark yet again. These rounds down to the wire. Fallen and TRK with 2 flashbangs in the 2v2, and Twist seems to want to take a more forward angle. He'll play on coffins with Alige on top of the boxes, but Fallen reads it like a book. Twist yet to reveal himself. He's going to try to isolate these 1v1s. Needs to ice TRK. He sees the shadow, and that tells him that he was watching bananas. The Twist dodges them and blows them both away. A 4th round for Liquid.
Nice round from Twist. Redemption on the 1v2. Alige, though, destroys the fork here, standing on the top of the coffins. These 2 kills are what really seals the deal. That's so nicely done. And he even gets a lot of damage off on Fallen. Ends up being inconsequential, but maybe plays into the fear factor a little bit more. So super sick round there from Team Liquid to push into B. That was versus 3 people, and it's because the flashes are so incredible. I'd love to actually see that maybe, you know, on the post game. They can pick whatever round they want for the stats, see like breakdown, but maybe that one to see to compare and contrast those flashes, because it feels like KNG was totally useless. They had 2 players in CT spawn, neither of which could push through, and everyone was going to work.
Yeah, the king comes down from his throne. He's fighting on the front lines. Cuts off both Alige and Stewie 2K. So this kind of leaves Team Liquid with a bit of a desperate hit into this B site. The pistols are trying to slow them down. Nitro looking to create that space, and I love this. They're just going to hide inside of the smoke, but it doesn't actually work. Fur is caught. So we are back to the 3v3, but at least Taco and KNG picking up the AKs that he worked so hard to drop, and they spot the man back dark. Now, this is a tough post plant because we have Twist and Nitro very much pinned in behind their boxes. That's a crucial headshot to give them a little bit more room to breathe. The smoke goes back towards coffins, so Twist just has to commit to the corner. And once these CTs come forward, they are his for the taking. He follows up with the headshots, and Liquid dodge, losing to an eco. But hell of an effort there from MIBR.
I thought that was a write-off at that point. The 3v5 situation, they had to force their way into B. The fast flank's already coming down mid, because once again, MIBR not scared to go for information, but the aim is crisp here for Team Liquid. They hold it down, just as you would expect them to do with better guns and get more than 1 apiece. So nice trades across the board. Team Liquid hold strong. MIBR still have a great half here, and it's because they've been playing a fantastic CT side in general. Dropping that eco round, I think, really shook things up. An important pre-fire down the halls from Alige kind of has allowed Liquid to stay confident, keep their economy on their feet. But those things aside, Liquid are starting to catch up. MIBR are still looking like a solid team on the CT side. So there's still a chance here to close out 10, or not, maybe not 10-5 at this point, but the 9-6 once again.
I think we're just going to keep getting more and more B hits here. Team Liquid starting to find their groove. Albeit first, still nearby. 16 kills, 5 deaths for the madman of MIBR. Stewie. Hello? Goes in on his own.
He got some info. He got information on 2 people. Yeah, so that they are already ready to go ahead to take the A site. And there's no one could crush them from Arch, and no one in pit as well. So they should be okay.
Yeah, they're fine. As long as they get Taco from the site, which they will. So Stewie offering himself up for the greater good.
But yeah, it is, always a risk to give up an AK. And that means an AK for next round no matter what, unless it gets taken down by the P250. Don't know if Fallen had armor there, but we're going to have a buy-up. Team Liquid come to 6, and we're going to see if MIBR can continue to come through with really nice setups, but also meet themselves halfway on the aim, and maybe find a way to do a bit better about dodging some of these amazing flashes that are coming over into B. I think that's once again what is allowing Liquid to come back and win some of these sustainable rounds, these full execute rounds into B. Stu is not the problem. Stewie's last game against Liquid for MIBR was 2-0 to Liquid, including a 16-2. When they played next, TL with Stewie won 16-2. Huh. Well, there you have it. I think the math checks out.
16 plus 2 divided by 12. Carry the 4, and then X equals what, 9? Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, that's the arithmetic right there. We showed the math.
KNG close. I like this. Round 14, he tries to get sneaky. It doesn't work out for him, but TRK can absolutely make the most of it. 2 frags down the mid lane. And all the while, we have Fallen encroaching closer and closer to the bottom of Banana. The entirety of Team Liquid on the other side here. It's going to really justify MIBR stacking A early. But he's going to have to cut them off. Oh, they eat their own flashbangs. That one's not going to help. And you can see Liquid now a little hesitant to follow through with the B opening, and that's enough to give MIBR to go back.
They scared them into pulling 2 because one's peeking down mid. Fast rotate here down the runway could come back, but he's already peeked down mid, hasn't seen anything. I don't know how scared of the smoke they'll be. It looks like, yeah, they're going to try to run it back, applying a bit of pressure towards mid. Our CT man on B is going to stay, so that smoke seems to be sort of kind of become the triumphant move here for MIBR to allow them to stack in the correct site.
Bird yet once more inside of smoke. Feel like he's been there half the series, but wow, Twists honed in on the back of that bomb site. Taco never seemed to stand a chance. Fur has 2 players ahead of him with very low HP, and he gets the spam onto the bomb plant, but Twists goes one better, shooting through the smoke and cutting this down now to the 1 versus 1. He's got 2 kills to his name, as does TRK. Both players HP nearly the same. And the bomb's faked once. Now he has to commit to this. Comes up, ready for the headshot. Oh, but he turns back and almost loses out. Twists, keeping his head on a swivel and locking in another round for Team Liquid. They're tied up at 7, which means the slight edge is anyone's to take here at the end of the first half.
That adds a little bit of a whiff there from TRK. Twist 30 HP, and he did so good at the beginning of the round too to get those 2 kills down mid, trading out KNG, allowing them to keep a 4v3. That is a shame. It sucks that the spotlight becomes on not killing the guy who had 30 health at the end of the round when you're the only reason they got close.
KNG's like, if we're doing this twice, I'm not going down there. TRK instead heads to mid, and this time it works out way better. They get their 2 opening kills, and it costs them nothing, except Twist will double back, peeking down middle. Man, he is the saving grace in these last few rounds.
Yeah.
He had a pretty rough start on this map, and he is now 15-8.
He's decimating them. It's like a death match for him right now, just running into angles. He is not scared at all. I mean, to be fair, none of them look terrified. They all look so confident right now. They're moving at a lightning fast pace, winning all their man disadvantage situations.
Ooh. Oh, still a chance. Twists. He's going to need the ace in the 15th round. Now, he does have the 1v1, and he's got the 4th piece of the puzzle. Looking to slam in that final frag.
Oh.
But he's got to figure out where the hell is Fur coming in from. And this has been the heaviest hitter for MIBR. He's cleared everything he can, but just misses the timing in apartments. Yeah, he will.
Oh my
and it's
God,
a kill.
No way. It's
Russell Van Dulken, the magic magician, closing out this half with an 8th round, closing out this half with the ace. Peering down middle after TRK tries his absolute damnedest to give MIBR the edge, but folks, that's it. Liquid with a 1-round advantage before we come back for that second half. We had MIBR with a hell of a lead, starting Inferno 6-1 until Liquid takes 7 of the last 8 rounds on that T side, and they finish with the 1-round buffer. A slight edge for Team Liquid here in the second half of Inferno, and this one could be huge. Stewie 2K is going to be pressured over at this B site. It's a straight up hit from MIBR. They're going to gun him down. They show no signs of slowing in the face of that smoke. No, they want their plant. You know what? Here comes Liquid already in through construction. Great grenade from Nitro, cutting off 2 players, getting a man advantage, but can Fur lock down Banana? Seems not. It's going to be on KNG and TRK to try and hold this off. And one of them has actually slipped around towards CT spawn. It's just now the 1v2, TRK's position known, and he's going to get pinched from both sides of this. Liquid should be able to trade, and down to the wire, 16 health makes the difference.
That is such a beautiful 2v1. I love how he jumps to the same side, but runs up the middle to force TRK to move out, allowing Nitro some breathing room, and then pushing in so that no matter what, and we see that play out, the worst case situation where one person dies, the other one is guaranteed a trade, even if all 3 of them miss, even if the guy who's in the 1v2 is better. That's so beautifully played. And you can't call that. You just trust your teammate. You're not like, I'm pushing right. You might, but I think there you kind of just go off of it. Nitro can just play off you. So well done there from Elige. This match doesn't, or sorry, why did I say that?
Doesn't lie.
Before this map, Liquid had won 65.6 of their pistol rounds last 6 months on Inferno. MIBR just 41.7. Interesting. And that was supposed to be a round that flies in the face of that. But a couple of key positions fall short. Like Fur, if he gets a kill, they probably win. If he delays on Banana, they probably win there. And yes, they entry and kill Stewie out really early too, but there's a nade kill from Elige off Banana. Keeping the pace high has been the tail of the tape for this match, and both teams are committing to that. And it's making it really fun to watch, but it's also allowing, I think, for both the teams to play their most comfortable CS.
Right into the buy, of course, not wasting any time, using that bomb plant to afford themselves 2 AKs and the Galil. A little bit of a smoke in the front of KNG. That's going to delay him, but the CT doesn't actually play inside of Arch where he decides to smoke off. No, he doubles back around towards Library, and Nitro calls Elige to come help him. But MIBR very quickly cooling off that hit. Look to double back towards bomb.
We talk about this for a second. Actually, it feels like there's a bit of a paradigm shift in the pro scene right now, where a high percentage of the top teams are playing a lot faster and just picking up strong fraggers and playing a lot faster. Fnatic, Furia, Liquid are playing extremely quickly. Astralis are rushing a lot with Magus calling. It's definitely just been a ton of way faster plays.
Yeah,
much faster rounds.
In the case of Astralis, it's because Glaive left, so Dad's
not home. You can just rush whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you notice that? Like, it's almost every team that we're seeing now.
I wonder if it's just
amazing. It's actually making the CS way more fun to watch. I won't lie.
It's explosive, like TRK's Deagle is. Oh, wow. A second versus Nitro. Look at the HP that's left. Take a moment. That's 8 plus 9 equals 17. 17 health. The round before that in the pistol, 16 health. I mean, we are coming down. That's 31 combined for the outcome of 2 different rounds. Unbelievable scenes. MIBR, I mean, they took a chance with that buy up, and it does come back to cost them, so they'll have to just slide into this 18th with some pistols and trimmings, 2 flashbangs, and a frag grenade. I think this is a good chance to just remind you guys, of course, that if Team Liquid wins this series, they secure their spot in the next portion of the tournament. They will not be eliminated from this group, and the outcome of Chaos versus Furia will decide who goes home. It's really MIBR and Chaos who are on the chopping block at the moment. Team Liquid looking like they're going to finish off this series. I don't know. So far, so good in this defense, but the real test starts now.
Yeah, we do, look around like that and go, okay, well, MIBR didn't get any kills, so it's going to make the comeback even a little bit harder, but they still have full nade kits here, all the AKs they want. Twist the only one with a compromised gun, but with Liquid with a lead and a little bit in the bank, no reason to upgrade just yet. Also viable for one in the right positions. Aggressive nades back and forth, but it's a game of pretend. There's no one staying there at the top of Banana. The bottom B guys aren't running through any Molotovs. They are pushing up now, getting the B pressure out of the way nice and early.
You do your chores in the morning, you can enjoy your day. Team Liquid have tried to do. Chores in the morning. Yeah, I do not live on a farm. Here's Naf. Ooh, only good for the one. The flashbang catches him, and that is the entry MIBR needed. All the while, they've locked down middle, so all of the attention can be turned towards CT, and then some. And at this point, we have Team Liquid already trying to fall back for the save. So they have been convinced to give MIBR their 8th round. A 3-point lead for Team Liquid. Nice to see the Brazilians breaking through this defense early. That was something that Team Liquid struggled with, and they only found footing at the end of their first half.
It's a pretty cool, critical save opportunity here for Liquid, though, bringing these 3 guns to the next round, because they wouldn't be able to buy up full with all grenades and the best guns ever if they had lost all 5. So this is kind of important for them. And MIBR know that they've still got to work hard and carefully to make sure they close out this next round on top of it, to really put an emphasis on the fact that they could come back. You know what's crazy about that Nafly getting flashed in that position is he's got a spot on the top of quad where most of your flashes are blocked naturally. Like half your vision is obscured to the majority of the back of the site. So MIBR threw an amazing flash that probably covered him as well as a number of other angles and allowed him to not have a chance on that fight.
Hopefully they can throw that again if they do have to face him. But one of those one and done spots at times. Here's Elige hearing a lot of footsteps in middle. Yeah, I was contemplating whether he would actually stick around on this. He could try and find the tail end of that, getting himself 2 kills, 3 frags as Nitro locks off Arch side. It's the mow down from Jonathan Jablanowski and Team Liquid 5v1.
The one tap to start it off too. The spray down on the second guy, staying alive and calling out this razor thin timing before they actually cross around Arch, but aren't still watching the flank as closely, where he can actually pull that play off. Nicely played on the timing there from Elige. 12 rounds now for Liquid. No signs of slowing down. MIBR trying to keep the pace high, but the Arch crack gets stopped in its tracks. KG is left alone to lurk. They're going to spot the bomb and wait. You do love to see that if you're an Elige fan. Again, his play has been called into question a little bit. He's been definitely inconsistent, but at the same time, overall kind of peaking in terms of stats. In totality for the past few months, just these most recent results are putting a dampen on that a little bit.
Yeah, remember that when we were halfway through 2019, there were conversations around Team Liquid, taking the #1 spot and Elige possibly the #1 player of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying the madmen were talking about it. Some of our big-brained personalities.
Yeah, not just anybody. I mean, that made sense. Yeah, no, it's true. I think Chad's right when he said that he felt like Team Liquid, the most stacked roster in the world in terms of skill, and Elige was kind of at the helm of that during the Grand Slam period. Just seemed unstoppable, and it's also, it's really even more impressive since he's rifling.
One timeout remaining for MIBR after this one. Stewie 4K, 2 members of Liquid have had 5 kill rounds. Stewie hasn't yet got 5 kills.
Oh, was there 2 aces this game?
I guess so.
Shoot! Wow, missed one of the aces. Let me. What was the other ace? It wouldn't have been Twist again. Nafly probably, since he has that many kills, you'd think maybe it was him. I don't remember what the round was where somebody else got an ace. That's interesting. But yeah, it is hilarious that Liquid are winning 12-8. Stewie's 4-16. Does have 9 assists. So what's his ADR look like? Any silver lining here?
Let me take a gander.
Oh, the double nade. TRK's out. KNG's down a little bit. That's how you want to play banana. I mean, the unconfirmed damage resulting in a frag.
Yeah, Stewie has 53 ADR, 371 utility damage. The next closest on his team, 123. And the man's got 20 successful flashbangers. Only championed by Nafly, who has 21. So
those are both insane numbers. And we saw how sick their flashes have been on both Overpass and Inferno. it's really complementing their fast play style really well, because people are not sitting around in anti-flash positions. They're constantly scared of the attack coming and looking right at these flashes and eating them.
Fallen trying to boost over top of the smoke. Ow. There's more flash stats for Naf. And another one. Oh no, it's a
more nade
Molotov this
damage.
time.
Some more damage, yeah.
Like, how many flashbangs does this guy have? Smoke goes down on the front of the bomb site. Actually extinguishes the Molotov, so that's not going to be ideal for Team Liquid. They were hoping to delay this hit. Fallen, knowing that somebody's inside of the oranges because of the trajectory of the nade, really focusing on him, and Taco gets that second kill, giving cover to it. Nitro tries to spam through smoke and only cuts down one body, so they maintain the even 3v3, but they go ahead and save.
Wow, they don't have nades. Yeah, they would have definitely attempted this if they had the utility. They were in pretty good spots. But it's good to see that they know exactly what the course of action is based on their utility. They're not even going to entertain the thought of going for this. If Fallen didn't have an op, I assume they'd try to go for it too. But with Fallen with an op on quad and no one on banana, there's not a really easy way to knock down other riflers or to get Fallen into a compromised position. As long as they agree that Fallen's competent, he should be getting 1-2 kills, no problem, which means the retake is extremely unlikely. So they fall back, they keep this lead going, and they submit to the fact that MIBR had an excellent B take. This smoke was awesome. Taco allowing him to get that first kill, and Fallen jumping in on the right side of the smoke to kill the guy in oranges who was waiting and would have tried to look up and kill Taco after he jumped over.
Fallen almost looking away before he picks up that kill, but he gets it. I'm going to credit Vendetta for this one. I just read a great stat from him. MIBR went 11-4 in opening duels and still lost the first half of CT 8-7. 11-4 in opening duels.
A lot of that was because of Twist, because of Elige. They were pulling off these low number situations and winning. They won that 2v4. They won I think a couple of 1v2s.
I stole your banger stat, Ben, so you better get ready for something else on the desk. Oh, everybody already knows.
Whoa, that's a huge pickup. They were really risking it all for Taco to come up lane. They wanted him to just, as a mercenary, get into the site, maybe lurk out for a kill. I think he was going to go sit by the hay and try to catch someone peeking on the site, coming off a default, and then just maybe try to hit B at the same time or go back if he got a kill. But there seemed like there was a lot of ways for him to die there, so
smoking the front of the site again.
They're getting a bit desperate.
Trying to make it through this line of fire, but Stewie catches KNG first and foremost. They are going to follow suit here. What remains of MIBR trying to just shove their way onto this B bomb site. Everybody's flooding on them, and Team Liquid starting to heat up, not looking scared at all in these engagements. Not shying from just throwing themselves into the execution.
They shake hands and agree to every single gambit. If somebody wants to push out into a piece of map control, they feel the slightest bit scared. Everybody on their team comes out and says, all right, we'll trade you out, go for it. They're denying a lot of bomb plants this way. When the bomb's going down, they're pretty much giving up in the first place. And MIBR are now in a really tough spot. That was such an important round to win. They don't have much to work with. And they spent a little bit of money, but are already down so low. Oh, okay, KNG.
Huge.
Sweet CZ kills.
Man sweeps through banana like it's nobody's business. That actually throws an op into his hands and equips Taco with the AK. Taco's going to be able to just stay back behind the sandbags as KNG cuts down the player from spawn, and that's that. The eco from MIBR. The CZ of KNG, most notably, wins the round for the Brazilians. That's going to put them on 10. They're still within spitting distance of Liquid as well. 3 rounds behind. That is it. That is all. And I mean, of all things here, not only taking the round, but that's going to be a huge economic reboot for the Brazilians.
Yeah, that's a blunder. Liquid had a lot of ways to win. If the second guy who peeks top banana gets another kill, they win. I mean, KNG had to absolutely kill those 2 players, headshots with the CZ, and he just delivered. Like, didn't even worry about the fact that there was a fast flank in play and that they were getting cut down, and it probably would have been hard to get a plant. He just focused forward on his crosshair and hit these beautiful oh my god, was he jumping?
Bangers.
Okay, well, you know, Liquid did this to them on the A side on an eco round. One came back into the half, and I think now we've got MIBR inspirited with that same confidence. See if they can take it and run with it. Liquid are back on pistols.
Stewie wants one. So badly, in fact, he crisps his feet a little. Toasty warm at the top of Banana, but unsuccessful in his endeavor. Meanwhile, of course, Nitro picking up an opening kill. That was through the depths of apps. So while Stewie's trying to peek down Banana, they get aggressive in the apartments.
For her, the rotates. Almost certainly going to pick up and go to A. Elige ran across mid, and he doesn't know that Fur hurt him. So they're going to overstack here. A's going to be taken. It'll come down to twists. Man, how many could Twist get? I mean, it's, you know, unreasonable to expect a lot, but seriously, this kid today.
He sees it. Ooh, and he misses his first chance. That's a very good moment for TRK to just neutralize the threat. Does it immediately. They lose nothing else. And yeah, Team Liquid, that 3-man B stack. Good call on the audio. Elige stampeding through mid is how MIBR dodged the threat. KNG gonna look to hang on for his life as they all get chopped down. 2 rounds now separating Liquid and MIBR.
Looks like there's still hope for map 3. Liquid have a lead, but it's small. Eco's brought MIBR back into this, even served up the Eco for Liquid to just help them pad their economy up a bit more. Liquid buy down to 0, no head armor on anybody, just to show you how much money they've actually spent. And it looks like MIBR have a buy a piece, so despite, even if they lose this round, there's still hope for them. Scary scenes here for Liquid. No op to work with. Nafly, only kit. Light on incendiaries as well.
Just puffing their chests inside of the apartments. Both teams actually gonna hit that wall bang damage. I have seen Elige with some unorthodox angles here through
He's
the
so good at that,
wall.
yeah.
So good at a lot of things.
That's true.
Counter-Strike.
Spanish.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Spanish, really?
Yeah.
Good for him. Fallen posts up the op, trying to pry towards short. Fur also cleaning out these corners, and these are the same corners that did cost Taco his life once upon a time. So to no surprise, once they see it's clear, they decide to walk away. Not being offered an opening by Team Liquid, MIBR gonna try to force the issue. Wall of smokes to section off pit. This enables them to just hit the bomb site. So the pressure really falls onto Elige and Nitro here, and maybe Twist if he can swoop down on them. He is distracted, but Taco caught on the doorway. He's supposed to come out. He's supposed to combine with the short players so that Twist can't annihilate them. But Team Liquid do that exactly. Annihilation across the A site. 14 rounds to 11.
You hit the nail on the head.
Here.
Look at this.
Just
He's
killing
peeking
them.
out. His gun was there, and Taco's late. Not only is late, but yeah, he gets caught. And man, I really think the doorway should be just like, you should be able to hit left to hit the wall and run straight out. It wouldn't look like a real doorway, but it would make for less crazy, like kind of upsetting situations like that. You already have to run through a smoke. You're disfavored, but yeah.
Ooh.
Coming out of hall is already a nightmare, but Taco's position was so critical.
Yep, that split needed the second prong. Instead, a shorthand javelin doesn't quite make the mark. They never even got onto the bomb site. And then I love that Team Liquid, they don't let off the pedal here. They come into the next round while MIBR very well could be flustered. Get that kill versus Fallen. He's gonna have to call the shots from the sideline. Here's Nitro back in with the scope. Great timing as they're playing around. So that smoke would have denied info, but instead he gets exactly what he wants, the pick plus some. Elige tucks into the cubby. KNG unsuspectingly walks into his death, and things are getting from bad to worse because this is a 5v2. Taco same place, less teammates. TRK comes in with one. Op shot is missed. Nitro, in fact, fumbling a second. So there is a world where MIBR can still get onto the site, but Elige is coming in, and Elige lines them up. 15 rounds for Liquid, 4 map and match points.
Nice round there from Nitro. We're claimed mid right before the smoke plumed in his face, and Elige there to serve as the bait collector. KNG tries to hunt down Nitro on the reposition when they attempt the attack on lane. And Elige just makes sure and calls them out for trying to do so. 15-11 here. But just as mentioned, they do have a little bit... Oh, no, that was actually the second round in a row that Team Liquid were able to stop them kind of cold. So beyond that, they haven't got... I mean, we've already seen a Mac 10 purchase here. Fallen, is he going to go AK armor, no nades? Is KNG going to drop an AK? That might be the best course of action. Looks like a Galil for Fallen, so he can get some nades. And utility probably makes the most sense here. And those two players can both keep the good guns, try to fall back on their utility, so we might have some type of grouped execute. Still an argument to be made. 2 entries can win the round here. MIBR had a very ferocious B take, and they have the nades to keep up with some of the banana pressure that's going to come down. Taco going to expel his utility belt. Expect him to be going in front now that he's done that.
A little bit of apartments presence first. How crucial that could be if they would be able to just slip out the balcony. I mean, with a forward position from Liquid there on short, the only problem they have to deal with is twists. I say that like it's a simple task. Yeah. He's got eyes forward. Nitro smoking off boiler door, just has to hit these shots, but he's actually playing with his grenades. He falls into the bomb site, and they're going to welcome the execute. Everybody comes in. Nitro with a hell of a flick shot, misses the second, but twist inside the pit. Good for a double. So a single man advantage for Liquid on their retake. Bomb will be planted safely in the depth. A frag that misses the mark. Incendiary smoke, 3 flashes for Liquid to make this happen.
Those rotations make a lot of sense. Not a good couple of spots to stand in here for MIBR if they're closing in on you via lane.
Yeah.
Utility to the side as well.
That one's thrown up and over. Crucial kill from KNG, but Elige slips right in, sprints forward. It's 19 health here for KNG, and down he goes. Naf gonna sprint over, get on bomb, and take map 2. Team Liquid avoiding elimination, and now MIBR, their fate is in the hands of Chaos and Furia tomorrow. But this is a chance for Liquid, a chance to reset and recompose, because there was a world where they were going home. Instead, they're in the middle of the pack, and they can sleep well tonight, Launders, because this one's not over.
Yeah, it's crazy because they've kept it close. They're able to stay alive. And yeah, even though we've had some really slight missteps from them in these press BO3s, this was the most important one. Yes. They took down MIBR, who looked solid in spots. And holy shit, Twist, what a player.
Huge one for him. Stewie trudging along in that last map, but just, I would say, Team Liquid all in all looking pretty good today. I like that the speed and the pace that you were talking about. We've been seeing these teams in an online environment kind of pick up that tempo, and I think it's something that Team Liquid weaponized very well today. But today comes to a close for me and you, Mohan. We are done with the Counter-Strike action, but of course, after the break, we will have the analysts. Vendetta has some recycled stats to share. We'll see you guys there.
Liquid saved themselves versus MIBR, and they managed to take it 2-0 in a really convincing fashion here. It was a much better Liquid than what we'd seen across the rest of the group, but all is not done just yet. The madness can still go down if Chaos are unable to take down Furia tomorrow in our other NA games coming your way. But once again, we actually saw Team Liquid provide the team element of the Liquid lineup here to be able to get this win. And I think, guys, we can have a bit of a sigh of relief, right? Liquid are here, they're still alive, they're still able to play the game of Counter-Strike, and they're still able to take down teams that they should be able to.
Yeah, there's still life in Liquid. That's good to see. We get good performances more or less across the board. from the usual suspects. And again, they showcase pretty damn solid team play as well for the better part of this series, which is a refreshing sight considering their 2 other series so far.
Definitely a refreshing sight for me as well. But man, I gotta say, MIBR, they probably should have deserved this win on this Inferno. I think Liquid, they should be counting their lucky stars. That Twist absolutely showed up and started closing out these rounds. But MIBR, they almost won that economy war that sometimes is just so tough to just get over that hurdle. But when they were rallying rounds back and forth, they had Liquid's money just on the verge of breaking it. And one round, just one single round, and I'm looking at that round where Taco gets stuck in that palace doorway, doesn't come out. So in turn, Twist gets a 3K on top of that. That was the pivotal round for me. If MIBR were able to convert that, then I think we have a different ball game and we go to map 3 here.
And what was really interesting, right, as we were seeing with MIBR, they'd actually start off the half pretty strong, even not getting the pistol. And, oh, all right, there we go. The phone is ringing. So we've got our Liquid member with us, and it is Alish. How are you doing, mate? You must be feeling pretty good now. A bit of a sigh of relief, I guess.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, we needed that win. So I can't advance out of the groups with 0 wins, so feels good.
Yeah, so I mean, in previous interviews, you guys have alluded to the fact that you've kind of had a bit of a mental block when it comes to closing out series. Again, you usually start off series in a pretty strong fashion, and then once you get into map 2 and then eventually map 3, you're not necessarily able to maintain the same kind of level as you've started off with. In this game, no seemingly big problems with actually doing that. Have you guys kind of like figured out what was going wrong in the previous series?
I mean, it's not something specific. Like, we just need to make sure that we keep focused the whole way and that the series isn't over. And we just got to keep playing like as good as we know we can, because we've been playing pretty good in practice recently, and then sometimes when we get to the match, it just doesn't feel as good as it should. And I feel like today everything went right.
What are the conversations like on your side of things? Because as we've been talking on the desk constantly, is that we see Naf, he's popping off. We see Twist, he's having these amazing clutch moments, but then you guys fall short in some of these series, or you have in the last 4 series since you're 0 and 4. How do you even approach that when you go up to Naf and say, hey, listen, I know you're headshotting, but I'm going to need you to do this? Or how do those conversations go?
I mean, we don't really need to have those conversations because we all know what we need to do. Like, if he's like if he's having a good game, like he's already doing what he normally does anyway. Like, he's doing things that he's comfortable doing, and he's just gonna be. I mean, if he's destroying people, that's great. Like, that's just like one person destroying in his role. If Russ is destroying in his role, that's great. Like, we don't have to like worry about like that side of the map, and it puts a lot of pressure on the other team. So for example, in Overpass, if he's like killing them blue every round, then they're probably not going to play blue as much anymore, and then that's more pressure towards B since they don't have that control. I mean, mainly it's just that like he's just doing like him and Russ are doing a really good job right now.
Now, you were talking, Alish, about kind of what Team Liquid have been going through in terms of changing things up, making sure you're ready for matches, practice going well, then not getting well into officials. Is there something you're doing or looking to do before official games now to try and make sure that doesn't happen?
We're just making sure that we are just... It's not over until it's over, is basically like what we're saying, because we have been destroying the first map, and the next maps just aren't going like as well, because I don't know, maybe we think like it's over because we're like the better team. Like there's definitely a couple series where we should have been able to close it out, but we've just been making sure that we are like having enough communication every single time, because sometimes when you're destroying a team, you know, it gets a little lazy in the comms. You don't say like, I'm holding here, oh, I'm flash, just hold, I'll kill him in a sec. Like, we need to make sure that the standard of our communication stays up the whole entire time, and we're making sure that we set that standard for everybody and everyone is held accountable for it.
So
sounds like smart stuff.
Yeah, no, so from the part of, I guess, swapping things up a little bit, and obviously having Stewie functioning as the in-game leader now, how or what kind of like new elements, new aspects, or new lookouts or outlooks on the game does he provide in that role compared to what you had to Nitro?
I don't think that he's like doing something like super fundamentally different, because we talk about most of the strats that we want to do like anyway. Like, we're going to be like setting like names for strats, and we're going to be like setting that up, but he does have like a really like good read on the game. So now that it's like his responsibility like all the time. Like before he would do it anyway, since he like really helps mid gaming. So now it's like on him. So he always like has that responsibility to be like thinking of those things, and like he's really good like knowing how doing something is going to push and pull the enemy team in a certain way, and we're going to do like a strat to exploit that. I think that's like one of his biggest strengths, just being able to read the game.
All right, well, Elise, thank you very much for your time there, mate, and good luck going forward. At least you've got the win here now. We'll look to see how the rest of the group plays out.
Yep, thank you. All right.
See you, mate. Always good to have Elise, and he does give some really good in-depth answers in there of breaking it down a different way, because I guess for him, right, it's probably been tough on these other games where we pointed out that he wasn't been able to play up to standard. This time he's come back into at least what we expect from him. Liquid get the much needed win they need here, but they still seem very happy with what they've got as a system. So I don't know, it's a weird one. We need to see them at least deliver on every step forward from here.
I think, yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, there's no need to kind of like root up the fundamentals or like the kind of like the base level of work that you've done already, right? Because that's going to be sound for a top team like Liquid. Again, I think a lot of it, the instances we see where Liquid are kind of falling short is more down to individuals falling flat, here and there. Again, we kind of alluded to the fact that they wouldn't have 3 people producing, high numbers. It would be 2 players, and that's not necessarily enough at the top level.
Well, that phone's ringing again, and this time it's going to be coming from the MIBR camp. We got Fur with us. Fur, obviously another loss here against the Liquid guys, but some close games for sure. What was the conversations like between you guys after that one?
Actually, we didn't have time to conversate because I'm here waiting to do the interview, but I mean, like before the match, we knew that we had to win like one map, I guess, to qualify for the playoffs, but we couldn't make it. So of course, I think everyone's sad right now, but I think we have to wait the match between Furia and Chaos to see what's going to happen.
So obviously looking at Inferno, you guys started off in a really strong fashion, getting a pretty sizable lead and everything. Then there was that breaking point when you lost to an eco round and everything. What was that? Just kind of like a something that like mentally broke you guys? Did it kind of mess with the focus of the game, or what made Liquid come back from that point on?
I mean, like when you play against like really good teams, it's kind of like you can win like eco, you can lose eco, so it's kind of normal like thing to happen. I mean, shouldn't be like so normal to win a lot of ecos or to lose a lot of ecos, but I think on Inferno we won an eco as well. So I mean, it's kind of hard, but I don't think this is something that's like messing with our mind or something like that. I think we could like handle the match even with like lose ecos or something, because nowadays like the ecos is pretty hard to win, to be honest. Like the force wise is not like that easy. So if they can win, we can win as well. So I don't think this is something that changed like our mindset between like during the game or something.
It seemed like watching your overpass specifically, I was very impressed today with your teamwork, and it seemed like MIBR's communication was up there. Is that something that you felt as well, or is that just your teamwork coming through and showcasing in that server?
So I mean, like on overpass in the practice, I think like we are doing like really good, really good. Like as a team, like our team play is really good. Our map control was like doing really well in practice. So I think everyone has confidence playing this map. So everyone knows what we are doing like as a team. Like you're holding your position, but you're alone, but you know like what your team is doing. So I think it's something like really normal for us on overpass. So that's why I think the communication is like flowing like even better, like if you compare like other maps. So I think overpass is one of our best map nowadays. So that's why our communication is like flowing a lot.
And for you guys going forward, have you guys been, or maybe more from a personal point of view, what do you feel like you guys have to specifically hone in on and work on in order to keep progressing and everything with TRK being added into the lineup?
So, I mean, like TRK is a really good teammate. He's a really good player. His mindset is like close to ours, or like maybe the same one. I think in the past we were like not like finding a really good player that thinks like the same way that we think about the game and approach the game as we do. So I think TRK is really experienced guy, so he knows how to have like attitude like in the game. So it's pretty easy to play with him. But I think that the thing that is missing in our team is like the confidence, to be honest, because we are like a long time we don't win like really good matches or a tournament. So this thing is kind of hard when you're like not winning. So it's kind of hard because if we play aggressive and you have like no confidence to do your play, every time you're like doubting yourself if you're like going to do the play or not. Like today, KNG wants to do a play on Inferno that he wants to aggro mid like without a molly on slope, and he was like, "Dude, I want to do a play. I want to do a play." And then, dude, just go. I mean, like he's really good at doing this play, but when you're like losing and you have like no confidence, you every time you're like asking yourself if you should do or not. So those things kind of hard because when you're winning and you have the confidence, dude, it doesn't matter if the game's like 15-14 for them. You're gonna do the play. It doesn't matter. So I think the thing is missing in our team is the confidence, and of course we have to put the hard work because we are like changing the player. We have like a new player again, and this thing every time you change a player, you have like not to restart, but you have to do like the same things you were doing and like explain like leaving the situation with him, because I think like CS is kind of when you leave a situation and go through a situation, you know how to react. So I think the main thing is the confidence.
I wanted to know also what the practice schedule is like for you guys, because you're talking to some of the other teams in North America saying they're having to play the same teams over and over again. Are you maybe scrimming less than anyway and doing a bit more theory craft? And how does it work for you guys?
So to be honest, during this like period that we are in the COVID-19 and something, the practice are being like really bad because we have like few teams to play against, and like for example this week we play like Mirage against Genji on practice like 4 times. So when you're playing a lot, it kind of sucks because they know what you're gonna do, and you know how they're gonna play the game as well. So it's kind of useless practice, to be honest, and that's why now we are changing our schedule to play like less maps than we are playing during the day, and doing like some things as a team. As let's suppose we record our practice, and let's see like my screen, for example. Like everyone comes and see what I did in this practice, so everyone can talk about, we can discuss like some situations and some like we can discuss everything, like, oh, you should be like doing this, or dude, this thing you did I never thought about. So you can like learn from your teammates and with your teammates. So I think we're like changing our schedule. In the past, like last week we were playing 5 maps a day with 1 break only, and like 2 hours with like strats and something, like going through with TRK with our things. And I think we're going to change our schedule now to play like less maps and practice more in like individual,
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man. Thank you very much for the insight, Fer, and thank you very much for your time as well. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you.
Really good there to hear that insight, especially at the end. That's very impressive that they're switching things up a bit, because it's just been this niggling at my mind for so long about they're all playing the same teams, they're all doing the same thing over and over again, but who's going to try and switch it up? And that sounds very smart to me.
Definitely so. I love the idea of working smarter, not harder always. Yeah. And I love the idea of watching each other's screens. I think it's so important. And I think it's not practiced enough within our CSGO teams, is understanding what your teammate is doing at all times so that you can really build a trust system. You can really depend on them at certain scenarios, and you can understand where the help is going to be coming from at all times throughout the round. So I love the idea that MIBR are turning a new leaf, and you can absolutely see it in the server. As I said, although they lost to Liquid here on Inferno, I think they probably should have won that match.
Yeah, no, I just think it's really cool, really, to see, because I mean, the way we know about these Brazilian lineups or MIBR, when they were Luminosity or SK, was that phenomenal teamwork to the point where it's like it felt like it was telepathic, because everything just happened, fluently, and like Christine is mentioning, the fact that watching each other's monitors or going through a teammate's POV from different matches actually gives you that insight, and you actually understand how they think, to the point where like, okay, I'm in this situation and I see my teammate is running at this spot right now, he's more likely to do this and this and this, therefore I need to account for these certain scenarios, which again, the more automatically that comes, the better you're going to be.
Definitely. Now, Canadians might not be your friends after this, Ben, because Scrawny was out there stealing your stats, stealing your job, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was under the impression that Canadians were meant to be nice. The only thing I can deduct from this is the fact that he's French-Canadian. I don't know, like somewhat tarnished or something.
That's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. So he has like a, little evil side to him or something to that effect. But no, like the stat he brings up is pretty poignant to how this game played out. And to kind of paint the picture of how it should have gone, we've like set up a little montage, which is pretty much like, if you look at these clips, you'd be thinking like, oh wow, like this is MIBR just kicking Liquid's ass for the entirety of the CT half. The funny part is, they end up winning, or getting 11 opening frags to the 4 of Team Liquid, but only being able to close out 7 rounds on the CT side. That's obviously a big issue. It's a great thing that they're able to get into a position where they actually find the opening frags, but not being able to capitalize off of the advantages you create for yourself, that's a pretty massive thing to look into. That's something that they have to shore up, because you can't allow for Liquid to end up having, 5 1vx's to yours 1. Like, you're not going to win games that way.
Now let's take a look at how Group A is shaping up now, because there's only one more game left to play, and that's between Furia and Chaos. Liquid finally do get a win on the board, but if Chaos can't beat Furia, then we're going to see 3 teams tied up for this group. And, well, we've seen Furia, guys. They've looked pretty damn impressive. It's a tough one for Chaos.
It's going to be really tough. Furia has been, I guess, the one team in this group that we haven't really put question marks around. Whenever we've seen them, it's like, Furia, they're performing, they're playing well, it's solid Counter-Strike, and it's aggressive and super fun to watch as well. So they're just going about their business. I think Chaos are in for a world of hurt tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be pretty either way, but it is going to be fun to watch. Where we're going to expect some fragging out. I would definitely want to see as well how Zeppa and John G are going to continue to play up. But what I want to look at as well is the rest of how this day went, right? Because this was our NA game, and that was pretty damn special. But when we come over to the EU side of things, it was a wild one. We saw Big again come in with a huge win. They managed to take down Mouse Sports. Okay, there was a lot of overtimes in that. Like, that was a long series for sure. But my oh my, Mouse Sports, they have fallen.
They have fallen quite down a bit, but we can't take anything away from Big, right? I mean, Tapson, he stepped up and showed up. The amount of clips and highlight rounds and 200 IQ plays that he was making in this series, it was impressive. And he also showed us that was some good timing.
No, but you're right. Big played fantastic, honestly, for the better part of that. I think everyone who watched that game felt like Big very well could have won that series 2-0 with not necessarily dragging it into an overtime loss on the first map, and actually having a really close bout on the second one as well. They played solid Counter-Strike just from start to finish, and then obviously just absolutely crushed them on Dust 2. That was one hell of a show.
And then when we're talking about one hell of a show, well, that's exactly what Complexity put on against Mad Lions, because Mad Lions, they come back off that Flashpoint win. They come back from North America. We haven't seen them play officials. They're not looking as hot as they were. And Complexity, they spent their whole time since this has all gone down in Europe, and it certainly seems to be paying off.
Oh, it's paying off hugely for them. And we heard Rush talking about it in his interview that, his lifestyle, it hasn't changed that much, and you can absolutely see that they're putting in the hours, they're putting in the work, and it's reflecting within that server. And you can even see it in their attitudes when they're speaking about their teammates, about each other. And it's a wonderful project, and I'm very excited to see how far Complexity can actually go.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of depth we can see there with the Complexity guys.
I'm super hyped to see Config as well playing like it's 2016 again. Like, this is looking like Dignitas / early North Config is just doming people. And like, I was a little bit afraid that he would be one of those players who you knew had such an insane top level. Then obviously after his stint in Optic and everything, that he would kind of just slowly fade away and become not necessarily a middling player, but obviously compared to what he was, a middling player. But if this is the last couple of weeks is anything to look at, he's starting really to get into the groove of things.
No, he really is. But it's time for us to move on to our special moment of the day. It's the Corsair play of the day. And this time, you guys probably could have guessed it. It was Twist with that ace on Inferno.
That was such a massive round as well, right? That's pretty much, what we were talking about. This is Liquid having started off the round with losing the opening frag and everything, and Twist clutching it out. That was bonkers from start to finish.
That was bonkers, but even, I mean, just this last kill, the game sense within Twist for his Spidey senses to tingle, for him to re-peek that. We have to remember, he already checked that angle. He cleared it, but he went back to recheck it. Just the timings are in this man's brains, and it's beautiful to watch.
Razor sharp aim. He was on top of it as well. Really impressive coming out with that from Twist. And it wasn't just him needing to show up for Liquid today, which is why they were able to get the win. But it's coming towards the end of the day. We are nearly done here at the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. But none of this would ever be possible without our amazing sponsors. And we have to thank every single one of them, from Corsair, Intel, Monster, DTS, AT&T, and Betway, because it doesn't matter where we are in the world, doesn't matter what the hell is going on, we're still providing a show, and we're still bringing you as best Counter-Strike action as we can, whatever is possible. But let's have a look at what's going on tomorrow before we get to that, right? Because that is the interesting one. The NA groups is going to get wild. We get further on in the groups for Europe here. Guys, I'm very biased because I'm on all the NA games, right? I definitely want to see how this is going to play out with the three-way tie. But which is going to be your favorite game for tomorrow?
Oof, it's a hard one. Like, obviously, I'm really excited to see the conclusion of this first group in NA, and obviously Chaos are basically in need of a win versus Spirit, which would be a mad upset. But that's really what it takes for them to stay alive in this group, considering the fact that Liquid won today. So that should be really exciting. Again, we've seen some pretty cool moments from players like Zeppa, basically, new leaves, new kids on the block. So I'm kind of hoping to see that continued story as well.
For me, it's got to be the first match of the day, Big versus Complexity. Both of these squads, I mean, we always question which Big is showing up. Is Antares implemented in? Complexity, we did not know that they were this talented on day one of DreamHack Masters, but they are showing up, and I think tomorrow that series is going to be a banger.
Well, you guys at home, you guys watching, you guys in Twitch chat, wherever else you are around the world, you know where to tune in for tomorrow for more amazing Counter-Strike action. Thank you very much for kicking it with us once again, and we'll see you tomorrow.